Breaking right off the top at 11 o'clock, we are following a shooting at the Edison Mall on one of the busiest shopping nights of the year. Police say the gunman fired at least 40 to 50 rounds before taking off. And just within the past 30 minutes, we can now confirm one man was killed in that gunfire. We have live team coverage tonight, starting with Haley Hines at the scene with the breaking details. Haley.
Gail and Stacy, police say the shooting happened just before 9 o'clock tonight. You can see behind me, police are gathered near entrance D. That's right between the Macy's and JCPenney's department stores. They've confirmed one man was shot and killed here tonight. His name has not yet been released. Police are still searching for the suspect. They say they're looking for a gray four-door vehicle they believe was the getaway car. Police say the shooting did happen outside the mall, not inside where all the shoppers were. Right now, they're reviewing surveillance video, hoping to learn more about what happened and what caused the altercation. But one thing that was a surprise was the type of firearm used here tonight, especially with so many people walking around.
We have multiple shell casings. High caliber, high power rifles are used in this case. We have about 4 rows, if you can see behind me, of crime scene where shoppers are not going to be able to go anywhere until we get done with what we're doing.
Again, one person is confirmed dead. Police have not yet found the shooter. They've not confirmed yet if anyone else was hurt tonight in this shooting. Obviously, it's one of the biggest shopping nights of the year. The mall was packed, and one of the biggest concerns for police was making sure all of the shoppers were safe tonight. They had a lot of deputies and police officers inside the mall, but a big panic for shoppers. Carlos Suarez joins us live with team coverage on what shoppers saw and heard inside Edison Mall.
Haley, you can imagine just the frantic scene that it must have been inside. The mall was packed with Christmas shoppers. I was here probably an hour before the shooting, picking up some last-minute things, and the place was packed. But I'm going to step aside here so you can see the scene that's directly behind me. The scene stretches so far out from the mall that the big story, besides the fact that someone was killed out here, is that no one is being able to get to their cars. The Fort Myers police officers have told anyone that's parked inside that yellow tape that they're going to be out here for a while. You can imagine the sense of urgency that it must have been inside when all of a sudden the alarms went off and the gates just automatically shut down. We're told it's standard procedure in these types of situations. A lot of the customers that we spoke to were stuck inside when those gates just automatically came down. They're now outside here hoping at some point to be able to get back inside their vehicles. As you can imagine, many of them were out here doing some last-minute Christmas shoppings, and they're upset. You know, they're counting their lucky stars, I guess, so to speak, that they weren't hurt in all of this, but they're now dealing with the reality that they're not going to be able to get to their car anytime soon. A couple of neighboring businesses out here that we spoke to tell us that they heard several gunshots. One woman that is just to the right of me here at a pizzeria says she saw 2 cars take off. That goes against what Fort Myers police officers were saying, that they only saw 1 vehicle get away. But again, a lot of these people who are still stuck out here plan on being out here for several more hours until crime scene detectives can canvass the scene, presumably for those bullet casings, in hopes of trying to piece together exactly what happened out here.
I was shopping in Guess, and then all of a sudden you see everybody running around screaming gun, and then all the gates start to shut and you got stuck in the store. So, and then you see cops running around with their guns.
She's just one of many dozens that are out there hoping to get to their vehicle at some point tonight. The Fort Myers police officers are going around interviewing them one by one in hopes of trying to get a better picture of what happened, if anybody saw anything. But the bottom line out here is they're not going to be able to get to their cars until the crime scene is secure and presumably that tape is taken down. We're live outside Edison Mall. Carlos Suarez, Wink News Now.
All right, Carlos and Haley, we'll keep you out there, and if you have any new developments, we'll bring them to the viewers for that story. Meanwhile, new video just in at 11 o'clock of a hit-and-run crash on Palm Beach Boulevard. This happening near Woodside Avenue. Officers telling Wink News a vehicle slammed into a Hispanic man who was walking across the street. There are no witnesses, so there is no description at this point of a vehicle. Paramedics rushed to the man, and they rushed him to Lee Memorial with injuries to his head and arm.
All new here at 11, as you heard from Carlos and from Haley, the race is on to finish shopping before Christmas. And if you aren't done yet, well, you're certainly not alone.
Yeah, of course, every year millions of Americans wait until the very last minute, and some major retailers are playing into that by staying open all night. Colby Robertson live in Naples to show us just how busy stores have been.
There is no shortage of procrastinators here. Believe it or not, we even found shoppers who started today. The clock is ticking, but that doesn't seem to bother the ultimate procrastinators.
It's been a tradition for the past 40 years of my life, and I stick with it.
A nationwide survey finds there are more last-minute shoppers this holiday season. As of Sunday, 9% of shoppers hadn't even started buying for the holidays.
I'm about an hour in.
There's no denying the crowds and long lines add to an already stressful time of year. But some say there are positives to waiting until the last minute.
It's very stressful, but at the same time, that's when you get your best deals. There might be some clearance items and things like that, and you never know. You might get save some money.
Others say there are no positives.
I definitely don't enjoy it. I feel really stressed. Like, the things I want to get are going to be gone.
This is my first year doing Christmas on my own, really. So I never realized how stressful Christmas really was until now.
Retail experts have been tracking spending on a weekly basis. After the busy Black Friday rush, sales fell into a lull. Since then, things have picked up. And that is thanks to the most loyal procrastinators.
Just the way I've been since my whole life. Just always last minute, get it done and move on.
Toys R Us opened here Tuesday morning, and they have been open since, and they will again be open all night tonight. Live in Naples, Colby Robertson, Wink News Now.
A long night ahead, Colby. Thank you. New tonight at 11, the Occupy Naples movement made a stop on Fifth Avenue with a message to shoppers today. They want people to eat, shop, and bank locally. The group passed out flyers with that exact message and thanked those already shopping and eating in local areas. Organizers say keeping the dollars in the Naples community helps keep residents here employed.
There's a lot of local restaurants and shops here, and we think it's great that people are supporting them, and we want to remind them why it's really important to continue doing so throughout the year.
The group was small in numbers, but organizers say that is not a reflection of the movement losing ground. They say they chose to organize the movement today so they can reach the most shoppers.
Well, in looking around the country, I don't see any weather-related travel issues right now, so all airports seem to be operating efficiently this evening with delays of 15 minutes or less at the most. And you can see it looks pretty quiet. Great Lakes, Northeast, down through the Deep South. We're looking at some rain, however, in Collier County. These are late-day showers that have developed, and they're pushing westward right now. Golden Gate, the Estates. That's the first rain we've had in about 2 weeks. Naples, almost DeMarco Island. I'll be back to track that rain area for you, and we'll talk about the extra warm weather and see how long it'll last.
All right, thank you. Happening now at 11 o'clock, holiday travel in full swing tonight. There's a lot of people getting out of town. AAA says 90% of Americans are traveling by car. That's an increase of 1.4% over last year. More than 43 million passengers are expected to fly this holiday season. That's a decrease, actually, of about 10%. And in fact, it's the lowest number in the 7 years since the airline industry has been keeping track.
New developments here at 11 on the payroll tax cut extension. The president signed the bill after the House approved the bill today.
I said it was critical for Congress not to go home without preventing a tax increase on 160 million working Americans, and I'm pleased to say that they've got it done.
But the president cautioned that the fight is not over yet. Lawmakers face another round of battle on a year-long payroll tax extension when they return from their holiday break. On the money at 11, the president also put pen to paper today to sign a $1 trillion spending bill for 2012. The measure sets budgets for 10 cabinet agencies. It also locks in cuts that Republicans won from the White House and Democrats earlier this year.
Well, Campaign Central at 11 o'clock, Republican presidential candidates are on the campaign trail this weekend, taking jabs at their opponents. But Mitt Romney became Joe Biden's target today.
He seems to think that he and the president have made things better. They haven't made things better.
Vice President Joe Biden wrote an op-ed in Iowa's Des Moines Register saying Romney's economic proposals, quote, would actually double down on the policies that caused the greatest economic calamity since the Great Depression. Well, the vice president's comments come just a week and a half before the Iowa caucuses. And new at 11, Texas Governor Rick Perry's name will not be on Virginia's March 6th presidential primary ballot. The Republican Party says Perry's campaign failed to gather the required 10,000 signatures of registered voters. The party is also validating petitions that Newt Gingrich, Mitt Romney, and Ron Paul.
More top stories tonight. Donald Trump is no longer a Republican. He changed his registered party to unaffiliated today. His special counsel says Trump made the change so he can run for president as an independent. Trump, though, says he could still run if he is unhappy with the Republican nominee.
Well, Queen Elizabeth's husband is in the hospital tonight recovering from a coronary stent procedure. Buckingham Palace, a spokesman there, says Prince Philip had chest pains earlier today. The 90-year-old was at the Queen's rural estate and then was rushed to a Cambridge hospital for treatment.
Electric officials in San Francisco say they will replace a malfunctioning switch that led to a blackout at Candlestick Park on Monday. The power went out twice, once before kickoff between the San Francisco 49ers and Pittsburgh Steelers. It happened a second time during the game.
New details at 11 o'clock on the concerns over baby formula. Kroger, Safeway, SuperValu, and Walgreens are also joining Walmart in pulling a batch of the powdered formula from shelves. This move comes after a Missouri infant died of a rare bacterial infection after consuming it. Health officials are still conducting tests on that Enfamil formula.
New tonight at 11, a high-ranking senator is asking the USDA to investigate a new kind of inhaler. It's called AeroShot, and it contains pure caffeine.
They should check it out, see if it has negative consequences, and don't let it go on the shelves until it is thoroughly checked out.
Senator Charles Schumer worries the inhaler could be used as a club drug so people can drink until they drop. The company behind AeroShot says it contains as much caffeine as a cup of coffee plus B vitamins.
Well, new at 11, it's being called a Christmas miracle. A University of Arizona student is recovering tonight after waking up from a coma. And Begad Shaban shows us doctors just can't explain how it happened.
This is the reason for the Christmas story.
Doctors point to 21-year-old Sam Schmid as a medical phenomenon.
I've been called miracle a few times. It makes me feel better.
An October car crash in Tucson left him with what was thought to be a deadly brain injury. He was just hours from being taken off life support when he somehow started to come to, 1 week into his deep coma.
So for him to be walking in here just a couple of months later from such a deep coma where we really gave him a very, very minimal chance for survival, that's a great Christmas story.
Just hours before, with no hint of a recovery in sight, Schmid's family began speaking with doctors about donating his organs. But one last MRI scan left Schmid's brain surgeon wanting to keep him on life support longer. Schmid's mother remembers the exact moment.
He said, let's keep him alive for another week. And the second day he came in and looked at me with nobody else, and he said, we made the right decision. And I never looked back.
Okay, what do we got here?
With a little help, Schmid is now walking again.
The odds of him making it were very slim. There was no question about that. But in medicine, we see things that always the exception to the rule, and fortunately, he was one.
Doctors say the hardest part of the recovery may be what's to come, adding that it could take at least a year of rehabilitation before ever knowing the extent of his healing. For now, the family is happy just spending Christmas together. Begad Shaban, Wink News Now.
We're going to take you back out to the breaking news situation that we are following at the Edison Mall. We have live team coverage of a deadly shooting that happened there just in the last 2 hours. Carlos Suarez, one of our reporters on the scene. Carlos, bring us up to speed on the latest.
Kale, right now the Fort Myers Police Department is searching for a gunman after one man was shot and killed outside the Macy's earlier tonight. Shoppers right now are stranded, unable to get to their cars because they parked within the crime scene. I've counted anywhere between 40 to 50 bullet casings. We're told an assault rifle was used in all of this. Again, one person was shot and killed outside the Edison Mall earlier tonight, and the search is on for a shooter. We'll have much more on this story coming up.
Breaking right now at 11 o'clock, a shooting at the Edison Mall in Fort Myers. We've been following this for you all night. It happened just over 2 hours ago, and we continue to get new information in.
We have live team coverage tonight. You heard from Carlos Suarez just before the commercial break. Now to Haley Hines, who is also at the mall with the latest on what's happened there. Haley.
Keystone Station is still a very active scene out here. You can see behind me there are at least a dozen police cars out here in this parking lot. What we have confirmed is one person was shot and killed tonight here in the parking lot outside Edison Mall. The suspect is still on the loose. Police say they're looking for a gray four-door vehicle. They say the shooter used a high-power rifle and possibly shot 40 to 50 times. The mall was on lockdown for a short time around 9 o'clock as a precaution with so many shoppers out here tonight. It's not confirmed, though, if anyone else was hurt tonight, but obviously a big scare for shoppers inside who heard those shots fired. A lot of panic, a lot of running around. Right now, police have several rows inside the parking lot blocked off, as you can see out there, with yellow tape, looking for evidence, trying to figure out what happened here tonight, which means some shoppers and their vehicles may be stuck out here for several more hours. We'll stay out here and bring you the latest information as we get updates from Fort Myers Police. Now we're live in Fort Myers. Haley Hines, Wink News Now.
Well, it's been about 2 weeks since I've been able to show you any rain on radar, and we're going to do that right now. Here we go. Live radar, Sky Tracker Doppler indicating some shower activity that developed after sunset late today in Collier County. Started out by and just south of Immokalee. It's been moving westward along Alligator Alley, crossing 75, the north-south 75 and 41. Get in tight here and show you that a couple of showers will be moving toward Marco Island, but the larger light rain area is right in here. Golden Gate, the Estates, and this is pushing westward right where 75 makes the turn to the north. So along Airport Pulling, Radio 41, and to the beaches. Expecting some light rain between now and a little bit after midnight. This rain is forecast to dissipate 2-3 a.m. and we'll be back to dry. Meantime, 70 degrees Fort Myers, Naples 73 degrees. It is calm, it is humid. There will be more fog late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Cape Coral and Port Charlotte both reporting 70 degrees right now. So our 70-degree reading doesn't look too bad compared to the rest of the state. A little warmer to the south, a little cooler to the north, still unseasonably warm and humid. So we've got morning fog back in the forecast for the next 2 mornings. May be a little denser tomorrow and even denser come Christmas morning, which is Sunday. Warm temperatures, yep, they're still here both Saturday and Sunday. I expect highs to average 8 degrees above typical where they would be this time of the year as the warm weather continues. Then finally, here it comes, some slightly cooler, drier air. Lower humidity starts on Wednesday through Thursday and Friday. Some shower activity exiting Jacksonville, watching some clouds and showers here. Our forecast model watches those showers dissipate overnight tonight, but another round of light rain will be possible late in the day tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. We will start with some fog, we'll have some sunshine, could end with a shower. 84 degrees for a high tomorrow, 83 on Christmas Day, 83 come Monday. A couple of showers on Tuesday, and then after this weak front, lower humidity and slightly cooler air Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
All right, Jim, thank you. New tonight at 11, it has now been more than a year since fire destroyed a South Fort Myers family home. But tonight we have a happy ending to share with you right in time for the holidays. Haley Hines brings us their story.
October 13th of last year is a night that changed the Otis family's lives.
We had gone to bed, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, I heard a popping noise, smelled the smoke, woke my husband up, and just started screaming for help.
Maggie Otis had to be rescued from the second floor of their Aqua Lane home with a ladder. Her husband Jim followed, but not before saving their dogs, Rhett and Molly, by throwing them down into the pool.
It was spreading fast. There was a lot of fire across the front of the house.
The rising sun revealed $300,000 of damage. The front of the home, a total loss.
Just to watch it burn was a very traumatic experience.
Even after battling flames all night, a few firefighters from Station 71 stuck around. She says they dug for hours, helping salvage what they could. Priceless family pictures. A year and 2 months later, the burnt debris is gone, and in its place,
a beautiful new house. We've had so much love and support from our kids and our family and our friends, and we're just ready to come back home.
For the past year, the Otis family has rented a nearby home from a friend. As workers brush, sweep, and complete the final touches, Maggie can think of no greater gift this Christmas than a place her family can call home once again.
No doubt about God, He was there. He saved us. I accept things for what they are and have a great appreciation for what I have now. Tuesday will be our Christmas.
In South Fort Myers, Haley Hines, Wink News Now.
Now at 11, a happy ending in Philadelphia where a rare and expensive violin was both lost and found in less than 24 hours.
It was such a blessing. I think I'm really, really blessed by God.
An 18-year-old music student left that violin on a bus that she took from Boston to Philadelphia. When she realized it was gone, it was already missing. Turns out, a company that cleans the buses found that $170,000 instrument and returned it today.
Good for her. Mind the gap. A drunk woman falls between a train and the platform in Britain. Take a look here. Police say she did not suffer any serious injuries, but the train was delayed as a result of this incident. They released the video to warn riders of the dangers of traveling while drunk.
And caught on camera at 11 o'clock, vandals targeting Christmas decorations at a Texas home. The owners say it has happened a few times. So he installed a security system to catch them as they plowed over their inflatable snowman. And just last night, they struck again, and the homeowner chased them off.
Big upset in college basketball tonight, guys. Bit of a surprise. Plus, we're going to get you ready for the NFL weekend. And the Florida Everblades try to make it back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights against Trenton.
And, of course, we are monitoring a shooting at the Edison Mall. We've been following this for you all night, where Fort Myers police say one man was shot and killed. We have live team coverage. Haley Hines and Carlos Suarez both working this story. Trust Wink News. We're going to bring you more breaking details just as soon as we get them.
Well, we've been following it all night. The breaking news from Edison Mall, a deadly shooting there tonight.
We have live team coverage. We're going to begin with Haley Hines.
Stacey and KL police say shots were fired just before 9 o'clock. They had an officer on scene within 1 minute. So far, Fort Myers police have confirmed one man was shot and killed tonight in the parking lot. The suspect is still on the loose. They say the shooter used a high-power rifle and possibly 40 to 50 shots were fired. Police say they're looking for a gray four-door vehicle they believe was the getaway car. Obviously, a big scare for shoppers tonight. A lot of panic inside, especially with so many people out tonight just 2 days before Christmas. Carlos Suarez joins us live with team coverage on what shoppers saw and heard inside Edison Mall.
Imagine just how many people were inside at the time of the shooting. Right now, what we're talking about is several dozen people out here who parked within the crime scene. They're unable to get to their car at this hour. There was a lockdown inside the mall the minute the shooting happened. Witnesses tell us they heard gunfire and screaming, followed by the gates at stores coming down automatically. The lockdown extended beyond the mall. Several businesses that I talked to, owners themselves and workers, say they were inside going about their daily routine when all of a sudden they heard the gunshots, they locked their doors, and they saw two cars get away. But right now, again, there's a second story out here, and that's the customers that were inside. They're unable to get to their cars because they're inside the crime scene. The Fort Myers Police Department has told them it'll be several hours before they can get back to their cars.
Carlos, quick question for you. One of the shots that we saw there in the video showed bullet holes on the windshield of one of the cars there. I imagine there may be other cars there that are damaged. Have you seen anything like that?
I was able to get close to the scene near the yellow tape, and I counted at least 3 vehicles with multiple gunshots. Now, there were bullet casings, at least 15 markers that were out, but we're told that anywhere between 40 and 50 bullets were fired out here. Some sort of assault rifle was used in the shooting, so we know that several cars were struck. So you can imagine why they extended that scene so far out, and no one is being allowed to get to their cars.
All right, Carlos Suarez reporting for us live from Edison Mall, along with Haley Hines. Thank you both very much.
We start with the Everblades. Now, Greenville lost tonight, and South Carolina had the night off, so the Everblades could move into a tie with second place with a win tonight in the South Division. Everblades trying to win their second straight over Trenton. That's Private First Class Corey Kent dropping the ceremonial first puck tonight. Early on, Everblades already up 1-0. Lee Salters scores on the power play to make it 2-0. And then later on, the Everblades on a 5-on-3, and Matt Becca scores the third goal of the period. Everblades win 6-3. College basketball, Wagner and number 13 Pittsburgh. Jonathan Williams drives inside and lays it in for Wagner. Seahawks win 59-54. Wagner's first win over a ranked team since 1978. NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger will not start tomorrow against the Rams. Roethlisberger has a sprained ankle and did not practice this week. Charlie Batch will start against the Rams. Some key games in the NFL tomorrow. Here are just a few of them. On Wink TV, we're going to bring you the suddenly hot Dolphins and the AFC East leading Patriots. New England trying for that top seed in the AFC playoffs. Also tomorrow, the Giants play the Jets. The Eagles are in Dallas, not to mention the Chargers and Lions in Detroit. A big day, guys.
All right. We'll have a final look at your weather next. Quick look at tomorrow morning for
We'll start with fog. We'll end up with warm temperatures in the mid-80s again.
All right, we want to go back to our breaking news. We want to show you some live pictures of Edison Mall, where one man was shot and killed outside of the mall, according to FMPD. Fort Myers police still looking for the suspect at this point. They are saying that 40 to 50 shots were fired and killing that person. And that would have been done with what is believed to have been a high-powered assault rifle. As we understand it, several cars